permanent members of the Security Council are also the 5 leading arms exporters in the world.
Out beyond 10 kilometers. Up to 10 kilometers. Yes, sir, at night. Yes, sir. And daytime beyond 15 kilometers. Excellent mass-mounted sight.
Killing people, or preparing to kill them, is considered very valuable in the international economic system. Arms exports account for more than half the trade surplus of the developed economies. The death, homelessness, injury, poverty and starvation caused by the use of these weapons is not even registered as a deficit.
Has that been tested in the Gulf War?
Yes, the Royal Air Force used it on Jaguar aircraft in the Gulf War.
Oh, yes.
Used it against anti-shipping targets, clustered artillery, dispersed artillery, and so forth.
Yes, and it has proven
Quite
effective.
successful.
And mainly computer-oriented
To some
electronics.
degree, yes, but we're also doing and teaching a lot of hands-on hard training as well. We're involved in some of the more sophisticated, if you will, warfare type, electronic warfare type training as well. And it's something that can be audited or assessed, and at any time we know how we're proceeding with the client country or clients themselves.
The rewards are tremendous.
This aircraft is being rebuilt and modernized by the Canadian Air Force. We're the company that's doing that.
We depend on sales, essentially, on exports.
It's absolutely essential.
Yeah.
If a country develops an economic system that is based on how to pay for the war, and if the amounts of fixed capital investment that are apparent are tied up in armaments, and if that country is a major exporter of arms and its industrial fabric is dependent on them, then it would be in that country's interests to ensure that it always had a market. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is clearly in the interests of the world's leading arms exporters to make sure that there is always a war going on somewhere.
The aerospace world is very competitive.
Yes, it is.
How do you rate Bristol Aerospace itself and Canada in terms of the competition now from our European allies, essentially?
I think we're as competitive as most, if not a little more competitive. We do run into problems. We have some competition, as an example, from the United States, where the government really gets in and pushes hard. And the support is very evident there.
It has clearly been in the interests of the United States to sustain war and political tension in the Persian Gulf region since the oil shock of 1974-1975.
Demonstrating the aircraft's complete capability of maneuvering at very high G and very high thrust.
You'll see him demonstrating the full capability of fly-by-wire. He has got the stick hard over in one corner of the cockpit, the rudder
Hard over in the other, and the computer is essentially checking the aircraft in a steady spiral descent, not allowing it for 1 minute to get out of control.
The great importance of this in any combat aircraft is that it frees the pilot's entire attention.
Looking out of the window and at what he's supposed to be doing, which is attacking the enemy. The capability of the aircraft removes an enormous workload from the pilot. That, as he comes out from that, pulling up now, easing back throttle, pulling up to circuit height, coming down, coming back in his landing to close.
Your Highness, in the long show we saw today, which was very spectacular, was there anything that caught your fancy that you would like to have?
Of course, sitting here, we've seen many nice things. And I think this is called defense. And defense is make the peace last. And I think we need the support of all the nations and United Nations for this peace.
Every minute, 30 children die from want of food and inexpensive vaccines. And every minute, the world's military budget absorbs $1.3 million of the public treasury. This is war.